Today I want to talk about pretending, specifically the times when it feels like a game is pretending to be more fun than it actually is, and the times when I pretend that I'm doing more work than I actually am, when I lie to myself just a little and say, no, 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 I'm working hard, when really that may not always be the case. This is Game, Develop, Repeat. I'm your host, Chris, and thank you for joining me. How often do you think that you deceive yourself? And follow up question, do you think that you actually know how much you deceive yourself? Do you think that you're aware of it whenever you're tricking yourself? Or do you think maybe you fall into some excuses that you don't even realize you're making? It is my belief that I trick myself much more often than I realize that I trick myself. Of course, then you end up going in circles and thinking too much about whether or not you're tricking yourself and blah, blah, blah. You use it as a tool for procrastination. But we'll get into that in a little bit. First, let's talk about games trying to trick you into believing that they are more fun than they are. Now, this is an elaborate illusion. This is something that maybe we want to fall for sometimes. But can you think of times when you've played a game and then you walk away from it and you're like, there was no standout moment in that? There was nothing in that game that was really particularly good. It was just an experience, and I felt like I was having fun, but I wasn't really having fun. That's fine. Sometimes we just want a game to kill the time. Sometimes we just want to watch 27 episodes of Law and Order over the course of a month, right? We just want something that is repetitive, comforting, and so on and so on. But as a developer, I think it's important to know whether you are creating a unique experience that's compelling and engaging, or whether you're just making something that's a little bit more comforting, something that's just a place to sit for a while and enjoy yourself in a routine, right? Games aren't necessarily fun. I've talked about this before, but sometimes they're sad, sometimes they're just emotional triggers, and sometimes they're just ways to kill time. I'm trying to think of a good example of a game that I play that is not necessarily fun, but gives me the illusion of fun. I think there's a lot of competitive games that do that, right? League of Legends is not necessarily fun. It's oftentimes a very negative emotional experience, but we play it and we go, this is fun. I'm having fun. God dang it. And you're screaming at the screen and slamming your keyboard and going, no, I'm having a good time. This is fun. But it's compelling. There's a type of game that's just comfortable and cozy. But when does it cross the line into, okay, this is just bad, and it's just faking me out? It's so far gone that it's just bad game design. It's just unenjoyable. It's just a mess. I think that happens whenever there are just too many obstacles to whatever part of the game you're actually trying to engage in. When there are a million tutorial screens, when there are 1,000 little things jumping into your way and preventing you from immersing yourself in this fake adventure, in the illusion. It doesn't matter what the illusion is, as long as you're able to immerse yourself in it and it's not shifting every 5 seconds unexpectedly and in ways that you don't want it to. It doesn't have to be fun, it just has to be something that you want to engage in. And, here's an interesting example. Let me throw something at you. Have you played Planescape Torment? Some of you might be familiar with this game, some of you might not. This is a game that I feel like is one of my favorite games, right? I always look at Planescape Torment and I go, my God, what a masterpiece. And it is. It is a masterpiece of writing, of exploration of so many different things. The world design is beautiful. The lore is interesting. It's so dynamic. It's for those of you not familiar, it's sort of like Baldur's Gate sort of a thing, right? It's an old school classic computer RPG, top down perspective, but it's got a really nice vibe. It's kind of darker and smaller party focused situation. There's a lot of flexibility in what you can do. And the writing is phenomenal. It is out of this world, crazy good writing, but it is overwhelming. It's so much writing, I can't digest it. It is a feast of words. It's too much. And then navigating all the quests is too rich. The world is too big for me to explore. And I look at this game and I go, I'm supposed to love this game. This is my favorite game. It is allegedly one of my favorite games. I've never beaten it, and I probably put way less hours into it than other games that I consider not that good. So can I really call it one of my favorite games? I don't know, but it has the illusion of being one of my favorite games. I look at it and I love it. In the same way that I look at the movie, oh man, wow, how am I forgetting the name of this movie right now? It's a movie about drug use. It is Requiem for a Dream. Excuse me, I like yelled that. It probably clipped. Requiem for a Dream. The movie Requiem for a Dream is horrific. And it is one of the best movies that I will never recommend to somebody. It is really, really well done. It's beautiful and disgusting and deeply uncomfortable. And it's, in a way, one of the best movies I've ever watched. And at the same time, I'll never recommend it to somebody. It's not a good, it doesn't make me feel good, but I loved it. And you can get this weird inner conflict with art sometimes. And I love Planescape Torment and I will recommend it to people, but I've never beaten it. I think for somebody it's their favorite game, and I want to be the person for whom it's their favorite game, but it's not. It's not my favorite game. Feels like it should be, feels like it is, but it's not. In contrast, I don't like Final Fantasy 13, 13.2, and 13.2 Lightning Returns. But I've beaten them, and I've probably gotten closer to 100%ing all of those games than I have almost any other game I've played. I know I 100%ed at least one of them. There are elements of them that I like, but I don't like those games. The story's terrible. I can't stand it. But somehow, those are more compelling to me than Planescape Torment, a game that I really love and enjoy. So there has to be some illusion going on here. There has to be, maybe I'm deceiving myself. Maybe I love the Final Fantasy 13 series more than I love Planescape Torment. But I look at Planescape Torment and I go, surely I like this more. I enjoyed it more when I played it, I thought. What's going on there? Was I just not ready for it? There's some illusory feature to games and enjoying them where like you can look at one and go, oh my god, I absolutely love this, this is perfect, and then spend like 10 hours in it and never finish it, and then you can play some other game and go, I hate this is terrible, I don't enjoy this at all, it's not even a good game, I'm not even having fun, and then you can spend like 1,000 hours in it. And I think that part of that, a small part of that, and maybe this is a not fully formed thought, but a small part of that is games convincing you that they're fun, doing a better job of convincing you that you are having a good time than other games, even though you're not having a good time. When you're having a really good time with a game, sometimes it's easy to just step away because you know it's there. You can just come back. But when you're having like kind of a good time, but the game is convincing you that you're having a good time, I'm not sure how else to explain that. Sometimes you're more compelled to play it because you're like, there's going to be something. There's going to be something that I absolutely love about this game. I've just got to find it. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. And you get sucked into it. But when a game is clearly incredible, you go, wow, this is so incredible. And you almost have to step away because of how rich it is and how vibrant it is. Now we're going to do a hard pivot to talking about fooling myself into thinking that I'm working when I'm not. Talking about this illusion of productivity. And I think this will make a lot more sense than what I'm saying about the illusion of fun. I think some of you understand exactly what I mean when I talk about this strange fake sense of fun. I think everybody's going to understand what I mean when I talk about fooling yourself into thinking that you're being productive. How often have you said, "Oh, I just don't have the time, but I'm trying. I don't have the time, but I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it. We're moving forward. I'm trying to make my game. I'm going to get it done. I just blank. I'm trying to work on it. I just blank. I just don't know this yet. I just don't know that yet. I'm not here yet. I'm not there yet. I'm in the process of learning. I'm trying to find the time. I'm going to make it happen." There's a little red flag connected to the word trying. And it's not always, but sometimes I use the word trying to indicate that I'm thinking about it, and that counts just as much as actually working on it, right? I'm trying to find time. I'm not actually trying to find time. If I'm saying I'm trying to find time to work on this, what I mean is I would like for time to appear, but if we're honest, when I'm tired at the end of the day, I'm tired at the end of the day, and I'm going to watch some House, which, by the way, I've been rewatching House lately, and that show is so formulaic, and it's so easy to make fun of the fact that it's so formulaic, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh my God, this is so well executed. And I think we can learn something from that. Just to have a quick tangent, super quick tangent about House. It doesn't matter if the thing you're making is the most formulaic, predictable thing in the world. If you execute so well, and my God, House executes so well, you don't expect the jokes. You expect the big picture, the broad strokes of each episode. They're going to have a false diagnosis 3 times, and then at the end, they're going to have the real diagnosis, and they'll be like, oh my God, we didn't know the whole time. Blah, blah, blah. But there's going to be all these good jokes tucked away. There's going to be all these compelling personalities. There's going to be twists and turns that are well acted and well written, to where even though you know what's going to happen, you go, freaking, this is great. House is going to be mean. Oh, there it is. They're going to break into this person's house. And it's really good. It's really enjoyable. Anyway, how did I get to that? Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, sometimes you go, I just, I'm trying so hard to find the time, but I just can't find the time. Meanwhile, you're turning on an episode of House, or you're watching some football, or you're doing whatever it is that you do at the end of your day. And this is not to say that you shouldn't be relaxing. Please, for the love of God, relax. Work days are long. It's hard. I get it. I'm not in the world of guilting people into working on creative tasks. That is ridiculous. That's not something that I like. So don't feel like you have to create stuff on my account. But there is this thing that I do that I know I don't want to be doing, where I go, I'm trying to find time, and then I get home and I watch some show, or I, watch some YouTube or whatever, and I don't actually unwind from my day. Like, if I took 20 minutes to just do nothing and unwind from my day, I would be ready and energized, and I could get back into it and start doing some game dev. Instead, the first thing I do for 20 minutes is whatever the heck, and I don't like recenter myself. I don't ground myself. I just kind of flop into a series of luxurious things. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go play this game. I'm going to go eat this thing. I'm going to go do whatever. So that doesn't really motivate me to create things. I could structure it, but you know what? I'm trying, right? I'm trying to, because I'm thinking about it and I have some ideas about it and so on and so on. Okay. There's this quote what is it from Star Wars? Yoda says it. There is no try. There's only do or do not. I'm probably getting that in the wrong order. Maybe it's there's only do and do not. There is no try. I'm not sure. But there, I've always been a little bothered by that quote. My music teacher in college had a poster of that up in his office. And I always would look at it and I'd be like, no, but try exists because you tried it, you put forth effort and attempt to do something, and then you either fail or succeed. And that's trying. It's making an attempt, it's taking a pass at it. That's trying. But I think that's not the kind of trying that that's talking about. There's the kind of trying that we do that puts up the little red flag that says, you're saying you're trying, but really what you're saying is, I don't know what the next step is, and so I'm just doing this thing that doesn't do anything productive, right? It's like, I don't know what the next step is, or I'm not comfortable taking the next step, so I'm going to repeat this step. Rather than find the next thing to do, rather than take the next step, do the research, figure it out, ask whoever I need to ask, and actually do something to move forward. Instead, I'm going to do something that I know isn't going to work, and I'm going to say I'm trying. Because you are trying. You're doing something. You're showing the world that you want this thing. You're demonstrating some amount of, I want this, even if you're kind of avoiding it on some level, which I know I've done before. And I just think, maybe that's just pretending to work. Maybe that's just going, no, I'm working really hard at this. See, look, I'm doing this thing. And the thing you're doing is just like, it's like saying, oh, no, I'm writing a book. And then somebody looks at what you're writing and you're just doing the thing from The Shining where you're just writing all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy over and over and over and over. Is that the quote? I hope I'm getting that right. I might just be mangling movie quotes today, but it's okay. Like, typing the word "the" over and over for 20 hours straight does not constitute working on a book for 20 hours straight. Contemplating how to write "Hello World," but never looking up how to write "Hello World" and then doing it does not constitute creating a video game, right? And that's not the example that people actually fall into, but saying I'm working on it, saying I'm thinking about it, actually thinking about it, doesn't really constitute working on it. Taking a pen to paper and writing out some ideas, now you're working on it, right? Figuring out a schedule, like actually, and then testing it out, trying things. Now you're working on it. I think there's this thing that happens where we want something so badly. You know what? I'm saying this broadly. This is a me problem, and maybe you can relate to it, maybe you can't. Sometimes I speak too broadly about things that are just me problems. When I want something so badly, I can reach this point of, I'm going to try to accomplish this. I'm going to try to accomplish it by doing these things that are comfortable, that don't actually move me forward, but feel like they work towards the goal, right? I'll read about it. I'll study it a little bit. I'll look into this, that, the other, but I won't actually take action. I'll research which action I should take. I'll research what the best ways to do the thing are. I'll research what the best gear is for the thing, but God forbid I make an attempt. Because if I make an attempt, then something can go wrong. And if something goes wrong, then it feels like I'm moving away from the thing that I want, and I don't want that. Something could go wrong. Maybe I'll find out that I can't get the thing. Maybe something goes wrong and I'll never get the thing. I'll never accomplish this thing that I so desperately want, so I better keep preparing. It becomes too scary to pursue something once you want it so badly. For me. For me. So I've got a couple angles on that. One is to just be more brave and just go, okay, I want this thing. It's scary to take the first step, but we're going to figure out what the first step is, and we're going to do it. The other angle is to, take some of the pressure off, not want it so bad. The first game that I made, the first game that I released, I should say. I mean, I made like little itch things, 2 tiny little itch projects before I made and released Soot. The first, when I started working on Soot, SUT, it was just a thing I was exploring. It wasn't that I desperately wanted to release a game. It was actually a stepping stone to a different project that I wanted to work on. It was let's explore this a little bit. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we can create. Let's see where we end up. I just gonna make a game and release it on Steam. And it was, I wanted it, but I just kind of wanted to do it. I didn't want to release the game that much. I just wanted to make a game and release it. There's a different level of wanting it. In the same way that trying to do something can mean that you are sort of pretending to take steps forward versus I put effort in and made an attempt and the attempt didn't work out, so now I'm going to try something else, like experimentation. Trying as in experimentation versus trying as in watch me slam my head against this brick wall, which is the one that I tend to do. Whoops. There's also wanting as in, oh, that's a thing that I want. And wanting as in, this is the most important thing. I have to get this, and I can't possibly try to get it because I have to prepare. I have to prepare everything. There's like an obsessive level, right? And at that point, I think you're kind of screwed. I think you got to let go of that, or you got to be just insanely brave and take tiny steps and take the hit when things don't go the way you want to. Did this make sense? That's how I pretend to work. When I really want something, then I'll try, but I'll only try familiar things. I won't experiment, and I won't really try to move forward. I'll just kind of vaguely work on it without really progressing. Because progressing, I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, progressing is terrifying. Making progress, Jesus, that's the worst. You're constantly venturing into unknown territory, but it's also really freaking cool and really, really interesting. We're going to wrap this one up by talking about not really a challenge that was issued to me by one of the viewers, but I got a message from a longtime viewer that was like, hey man, you got to start working on the game. You're putting it off. You're procrastinating. You got to start working on the game again. Come on, man. And I got this message and I was like, I wanted to respond, hey man, I'm trying. And this is what inspired the episode. Literally, I typed out, yeah, I'm trying. It's hard. I'm organizing my life and there's a lot going on, but I'm working towards it. And as I was typing, like, I'm working towards it, or I'm trying, or this, I was like, that's a lie. I'm not actually working towards it. I just feel like I'm working towards it because it's on my mind all the time. I was like, he's right. I need to do something about this. This is ridiculous. I can't just be like, "Oh, I'm working towards it." No, you're not. You're thinking about working towards it and you're going, "Oh, well, my life schedule is really difficult and I've reached the point where all of the really, really big, crazy obstacles that were in my life that were like, oh my God, I have to take care of this, 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 and this," which, by the way, I probably still could have worked around a little bit, but I was very stressed out and give myself some grace there. Fine. All that stuff is out of the way. There's going to be new stuff later, of course, and I will work around those rather than using them as excuses. Hopefully. But that stuff's out of the way, so now when somebody goes, hey, you should start working on your game again, I have to look at it and I have to go, I don't have an excuse. He's right. I want to, and it's time. So I'm going to create a couple of just simple, hey, here's what I'm going to do, right? couple simple goals, I guess. They're kind of vague, not really deadlines, but basically deadlines. By next episode, so the episode after this one, I will have some amount of progress to report on the game development. I already have some right now. I immediately started doing, hold on, let me pull up the message that I sent him to make sure I'm giving you the same promise that I gave him. By the way, this was Amoebazoa. Shout out Amoebazoa. Thank you for messaging me. I was initially annoyed, but you were right, and I needed to hear it. I got to make some sacrifices and make this thing happen. So what I said to him was, I will have actual programming progress to report by the 9th, and a small dev goal set and new routine locked in by the 16th. So by next episode, I will have some small programming progress to report. I don't actually have that now. I have game design progress. I'm not going to report it now. I'm going to include that in next week's episode. And then by the following episode, I will be able to tell you all about my new routine, my new consistent way of working on game development, and I will have a small project design or a small deadline within a bigger project, some kind of small game dev goal to continuously work towards. Now, here's my question to you, because I always wrap these things up with a question. Is there anything that you can do to enjoy the process of working on game dev more? I know that seems like it's not exactly what I've been talking about this whole episode, but it is. I've been thinking about all this stuff because I haven't been enjoying game dev because I've been putting too much weight on it, which led to me not doing game dev. Is there anything that is keeping you from doing it, putting you in that mindset of, oh, well, I'll try, rather than, I want to go do this. This seems exciting. This seems fun. Is there some experiment that you can run on yourself to go, oh, now I'm enjoying this more. Now I can lean in a little more? I know it's a kind of a broad question, and it may not be applicable to everybody here, but it's something. Also, here's another question for you. This one you can talk about on the Discord, because I'm crazy about this. Have you played Expedition 33 yet? Woohoo! I have not finished Expedition 33. I really like Expedition 33. If you haven't noticed, I think this is the 3rd episode in a row that I've mentioned it. You gotta, if you like JRPGs, you gotta play this game. That's all I'll say on that. And then have you played Tainted Grail? Is that what it's called? Hold on. I'm pausing while I get the name of this game. Okay. It's called Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Now, it's got the initial hook that I want. I haven't played it yet. I downloaded the demo, played like 20, not even 20 minutes, like 10 minutes or something. I just hopped in there, played around a little bit. It's got enough of a like Morrowind, Skyrim vibe on the side of that I like more, where I go, ooh, this is interesting. Now, the story is not initially for me, too much high fantasy kind of things that tend to bother me, but I think as I get into it, I might like it more. I intend to check it out more at some point. If any of you have played this, hop into the Discord, tell me what you think of it. If you've played Expedition 33, vaguely rant with me about how great it is, but don't tell me anything because I haven't even finished Act 2 yet. I'm not that far, but that's a game that I'm absolutely going to finish. That is everything that I have for you guys this week. Thank you for joining me. As always, I really appreciate it. Next week, I will have progress. The following week, I will have more progress. Thank you to Amoebazoa for hitting me up in the Discord, even though I didn't want to hear it. You were right. And I appreciate you. All right. Until next time, get out there, make some stuff, and have fun with it. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.